Sami Zayn is trying to stand up to the powerful new faction that Paul Heyman has assembled alongside CM Punk. But it feels like there's no use, and he's put down on Saturday night's main event by Bron Breakker after Punk left him to pursue Rollins. And after Sami is left to ponder everything, he's still desperate to win a world championship. But how on earth is he going to do it while they are running Raw? Well, in a surprising twist, at the request of Seth Rollins, he sees an opportunity to use Sami, with the optimum word being use. And Paul Heyman approaches Sami Zayn and assures him after the show that this doesn't have to be the end, because he has an offer. But this time, it's not to leave Raw to get away, it's to join them. However, while Sami is pondering that offer, he's approached by a man who has another one. The grass isn't always greener. Sometimes you've just got to water your own lawn. My door is always open. Sami with two very different but equally intriguing offers. And after Sami picks up a quality win over a plucky JD McDonough, he's joined in the ring by Kathy Kelly, and she mentions the fact that because of his decision to stay on Raw, his path to a world title would have to go through his best friend, Jey Uso. And Sami says, Jey Uso knows me better than anybody. And he knows that I'm a man of integrity. He knows that I stand up for what is right. And he knows that if that match is to ever happen, it will be done in the right way. Sami is still laser focused on winning that world championship. However, Heyman is laser focused on making sure the threat of Zayn is brought to the right side. And with Seth being wholly occupied with CM Punk right now, Heyman feels as though he needs more hands. And he watches those hands be put to good use as Sami manages to qualify for Money in the Bank, which heightens Heyman's interest even more. And then Bron Breakker directly after does the same. So Heyman sees the perfect opportunity. Sami, my friend, you've impressed us all. And to be honest with you, you've been impressing us since the Bloodline. But what better opportunity to give us your answer? Not with words, but with actions. The Money in the Bank ladder match, of which Bron Breakker is also a participant. If you really want to be for the cause and you really want to do things the right way, how about helping Bron? And then we can help you. Oh, so you expect me to help Bron Breakker win Money in the Bank, and then what? I just help him win the world title as well? How does that work, Paul? Listen, I don't even know why I should trust you. I don't even know why I'm listening to you. And even more so, I don't even know why I'm not punching you in your face right now. I can make you a star, Sami. I can take you to levels and heights that you've never seen. You think main eventing night one is good? How about being at the top of every card every single week? Seth Rollins came to me and he said that he believes in you. He believes that anyone with the courage to stand up to us deserves the chance to stand next to us. So think about it, because the offer won't last forever. Jey has retained, and now it's on. 8 men vying for the briefcase that can make anyone's dream come true. Especially Sami Zayn, whose sole dream right now is to hold the top prize. But he's got stiff competition, and once he finds himself scratching and clawing and eliminating Logan Paul with his own Prime bottle, he gets the chance to climb. But as he is, Bron Breakker climbs up the other side, and now Sami has the choice. Does he help Breakker and try and get to the top of the card under Heyman, or does he fight for what is right? Cross, who is also in the match, drags Breakker off, and Sami has the chance now, and he actually does reach for it. He touches the case, but then he's pulled down by Cody Rhodes, who is hell-bent on getting back to John Cena. And his loyalty to Sami is trumped by the need to get his own WWE Championship. Sami is left laying while Cody wins the match. It's somewhat of a betrayal in Sami's eyes, and he's once again so close, but so far, and it devastates him. But it also somewhat shows his hand, because he tried to reach for the case instead of helping Bron Breakker. And Bron is furious backstage, and he wants a piece of Sami, but he's also demanding Karrion Kross. Paul, I don't trust either of them, and I want to fight them both tonight. Bron, calm down. Kross will get what's coming to him, and Sami will as well if he doesn't do what we say. Let me impart some wisdom on you. We need to be calculated. We need to ensure that we're not going all guns blazing and making mistakes, which is why we have other people walk into the fire when we can. And I assure you, you will get the green light to destroy every single person in the ring if he doesn't do what we say. Heyman leaves Bron still fuming in the locker room, and he goes in search of Sami Zayn, who he finds talking with Jey Uso. And we catch the end of what Jey is saying, and he's motivating Sami. He's telling him to keep pushing because he wants to face him for the World Championship, as it would be a huge honor. But that conversation is cut short as Paul Heyman arrives and Jey leaves, and we find out exactly what Heyman's plan is. He wants Sami to do the bidding for Paul, Bron, and Seth against Karrion Kross. And it's a really solid battle. Kross is clearly testing Zayn physically, which he always passes against every opponent. But it also feels like a test of where Sami Zayn's mentality is at, which the onlooking Paul Heyman is also curious about. But he gets the answer, albeit a very convoluted one, because Sami drops Kross near the corner and he finds himself climbing up, and he makes a gesture towards Sami before Sami runs through him with a haluva kick and picks up the win. And it's much to the delight of Heyman, who is praising Sami at ringside, who seems to be slowly buying into this idea of joining this powerful force. And he says to Heyman, "How's that for proving myself? Now I think you might owe me a favor." Heyman is leveraging his power once more in the office of Adam Pearce, and he's lobbying for Bron Breakker to receive a number one contenders match for the world title against Penta, who Pearce already had in mind. But that isn't all, because Heyman also wants Sami added to the match, and this fires up Bron Breakker. He can't believe that Paul would add someone else to the match, and Pearce is quick to make it official. And the winner will face Jey Uso at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And Bron Breakker is arguing in the hallways. He's getting right into Heyman. He can't believe that he would do something, and he feels like he's favoring Zayn. Then he tries to calm him down and he says, "Listen, Sami is on board. You saw what he did to Kross, and he's going to do the same to Penta, and that is where you come in." Bron takes the advice of the wise man, but he's not happy. But does Heyman actually have Sami Zayn close to fully buying in? Well, it certainly seems so, because in the match, Sami joins forces with Bron and they double team Penta. And he knows that now he stands no chance, and Heyman's plan is working perfectly, even to the point where Bron sets up a chair in the corner and he's telling Sami to run his head through it, and Sami is going to oblige, but as he's taking him over, Penta starts to fight out, and then Breakker takes off for a spear, but collides with both and the chair in the corner. And in the process, he knocks himself out, and Sami falls on top of Penta and wins the match. Breakker seemed to be lining up Sami, or was he purely trying to get at Penta after his escape? Well, Heyman is wondering the same thing. However, now what he doesn't have to wonder about is how valuable Sami is, because now he's the only path to bringing gold and power to the group. But Bron is pissed, and now he's threatening to line up Sami during his celebration. But once again, he's talked down by Heyman, albeit now a little more reluctantly. But someone else who is reluctant is Seth Rollins, whose idea this was in the first place, and he says, "Paul, I've been busy with Punk. I thought I could leave this in your hands, but Sami was supposed to be the one that helped Bron succeed, not the other way round. What the hell is going on? Seth, I understand, but you need to trust me. What if Sami Zayn is actually buying in? What if Sami Zayn could actually be a genuine asset? Paul, we don't deal in what-ifs. And anyone that does is stupid. Anyone who creates any kind of dumb what-if scenario should be banned from everything. We deal in facts. And the fact is, there is something off about Sami Zayn. Seth isn't sure, Bron is on edge, but Sami is their only ticket to power, and that power is on the line in Saudi Arabia. And it's a place that is special to Sami, and in an unconventional move, before the match, Sami's opponent approaches him. Hey Sami, I know this place means a lot to you, and it's my honor to face you here. It's my honor to face you in general, Luce. But I gotta say, man, if I'm gonna lose this championship to you, I want it to be you, not them. Do the right thing, man. Two friends, one title, and the crowd is unsurprisingly invested. However, they love both. Jay is beloved all over the world, and Sami is especially beloved in Saudi Arabia. And the match is right down the middle, and both men hit each other hard, but fair. And Jay is seriously threatening to once again deny Sami Zayn his elusive world championship. But he almost seems reluctant. You can almost tell that it pains him to do it, and he has one of his best friends on the ropes and on the brink of being denied his dream as he stalks Sami, throws a super kick, but it hits the referee, which now, of course, brings out Heyman and Bron Breakker. And Bron gets in the ring and he's face to face with Sami Zayn. He's clearly still not happy. He clearly still doesn't trust him. Jay takes the bullet. It's the ultimate act of friendship. Or was it purely part of the plan? Did they know he was going to do it? Because Bron picks him up and puts him in the corner, and he tells Sami to finish him off. Sami hits Bron, and Heyman is beside himself. He thought he had Sami figured out. He thought he had him on board. But that's not how Sami rolls. He wants to do things his way, and he does. Because as Jay comes out of the corner, you can see how happy he is. He wants a fair fight, and it's looking like that is what we're gonna get. But Sami just looks deadpan. Heyman thought he was the puppet master. Bron thought he was the devil on the shoulder. But as it turns out, Karrion Kross was both. The grass was not greener for Sami Zayn. He just watered his lawn.